If you live in the city, you may not actually have any under the eaves of your house, but you probably have them in your hair as much as the country folks do. They're spunky little fellows. There are people who don't like them, but they're spunky little fellows. And just out of curiosity, one day I saw in a card catalog at the public library that there was a great deal of information about them. There were 3 bulletins, for example, issued by the U.S. Department of Agriculture on how to get rid of English sparrows. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to get rid of them. If you have them and you don't like them, why, I'm not going to take sides against them. You'll have to be on your own. However, I do think some of the information about them might interest you. Did you know that all those millions of English sparrows we have in this country came from 8 pairs? 8 pairs. 8 pairs of English sparrows were imported on purpose. They didn't just fly over here. They didn't even ask to come. But they were brought by the directors of the Brooklyn Institute back in 1850 for the purpose of protecting shade trees from caterpillars. The idea was that the sparrows would eat the caterpillars and save the shade trees. It seems pretty incredible that in just a little over 100 years, 8 pairs of English sparrows would multiply into the number of sparrows we have around today. I don't know whether anybody's ever counted the English sparrows in this country. I don't quite know how you go about taking a census of sparrows, but it certainly seems to me that the first 8 pairs had a lot of progeny, and with people trying to get rid of them, they were pretty busy. The Brooklyn Institute, however, imported 8 pairs, and today we have not thousands but millions. A fellow I met down at the Miss America pageant in Atlantic City told me an interesting story. His name's Jack Shalott, and he's a talent scout for Howard Hughes Productions, and he's down there for obvious purposes. And he said his wife used to be a concert pianist, and she has recently become interested in birds. And he bought her a tape recorder, and she went out and taped a lot of bird calls, a lot of bird talk. And he said they actually have discovered that on certain days, particularly on very hot and very warm days, the birds are a little bit off pitch. He said on very hot days they will be either flat or sharp, about a half tone. And he said you can tell it by using the pitch pipe when you play back the tape recordings. He told a story about this one little song sparrow, and he was a young one who was trying to sing. And he said he'd get into the middle of this little song, and they all have a song pattern. He'd get into the middle of the little song, and something would come out to sound like that. And he said he'd go back and try it again, and he said they have a tape on that bird who was trying all morning to get through this passage of the song and never could hit the note. Every time he got to that certain place, he'd go... I thought it was a cute story, too, and it's a true one. Say, a lot of you people, I know, have estates of some dimension. Maybe you don't have great estates, but you do have estates that you have gotten together. You have certain personal possessions, certain real estate, and so on. Have you ever carefully had your estate planned so that you can pass the properties to your family with minimum tax shrinkage? Have you ever done the thing really intelligently? Why don't you get in touch with the estate planning department at Philadelphia National Bank, the personal trust department at Philadelphia National Bank. They do and have been doing a marvelous job on estate planning. And it won't cost you anything to have a look at it. And I think you should discuss it with them. You can stop in at any of the community banks, or, of course, the main office at Broad and Chestnut, which is where the actual headquarters of this department is located. This is John Trent for Philadelphia National Bank. Be back tomorrow morning at the same time. Thanks for listening. Good morning to you.